Well, good evening, everyone. I hope you have had a pleasant week and are looking forward to the weekend coming up. So I'm a bit late, had a few things that I had to get sorted out a bit earlier tonight, push things back a bit, but let's get started, shall we? Cool. Alrighty. So the plan for tonight is we're just gonna chill. I'm a bit checked out. Start ending my current job tomorrow and starting a new one Monday, so brain's in a bit of a transition state. So what I'm thinking for tonight is I'm gonna just spend some time coding. I've got a simple blog page that I'm trying to write. I'd like to replace my website with something I wrote, so that'd be cool. And I guess while we'll do that, if anyone watching has any questions about Microsoft builds, and there's a lot of good announcements, I might take a break here and there just to bring some up, and we can talk about what those announcements were, what they mean, where we think things will go in the future, anything really. So apart from that, I'm just gonna kick off into this development. So I am using Visual Studio 2022 for this preview version. So I've got Copilot integrated. There's a few things I want to test the new version. This is the one I believe they announced to build for preview. So it has a few extra things with Copilot in it. I've mainly been using VS Code, but I do want to do some more with Full Weight Visual Studio again. I haven't really done a lot with Full Weight Visual Studio last year, mainly because I've been on a Mac. But I'm going to be spending more time in it going forwards, try and balance a bit more between VS Code and Full Weight Visual Studio and see how we're going. So that should be good. So I can switch over to here. So what have I got here? I've got a basic Blazor application. It's using a Fluent UI framework that I found, which looks pretty nice. So I'll just show you all what that looks like. See if I can. I'll set my default browser to Edge, and let's go. That should get running. Should pop up, and Edge is starting up. There we go. Ooh, bit bright. Definitely gonna have to work on a dark mode. Cool. So we've got a little accordion type UI element. We've got our counter, so you can click, that increases the number. We've got a weather API, which I think just loads local data. I don't think it calls an API for this one, but that's okay. And then we have a auth required page, and then an ability to register and log in, and we'll most likely add external services to that rather than handling it ourselves. So I might make a dummy user just to do some testing. Cool. So that's where we're starting. So I'm going to go ahead and start building out what I think a blog page needs. We might this might be a bit of a longer running thing as I'm building it, because I said I do want to replace my website with this. So I might do some things like implementing some local LLMs into it if I'm hosting it locally, which I might do, but hosting it in the cloud, I'll see whether or not it makes sense to tie in any AI. Could be interesting. Could be interesting to help me write blog posts or something like that, but we'll see. Cool. Alright, stop that. So let's have a look. So we've got a database which is running for the identity. Pretty sure that's just running SQLite. Looks like you can see the database. Is there a database? Where is open in File Explorer? Are we using? I thought we would be using SQLite. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're using like an in-memory database. Let's have a look. See if we can work that out as our first thing. So, we're using SQL Server apparently. What connection string are we using? Oh, okay, we're using the MySQL local DB, so that's fine. Most probably set that up to use. So, hey Liz, we'll most likely set this up to use SQLite later, maybe. Depends on what we host it. If we're hosting it locally, mostly SQLite would be easier. If hosting it in the cloud, mostly getting some cloud-based database. It's gonna be the best route. Cool. Alrighty. So let's continue having a look. So we have our pages. So our auth counter. So this is the weather. That's why it felt like it was on a API, because we have a delay to make it feel like there's an API at the end of it. Cool. Alright, we got some layouts. Got our main layout, and then we got our nav menu, which was the collapsed one. So I think we'll stick with the main layouts for the moment. Let's get functionality kind of going. So let's think about what we need to do in the terms of what kind of data do we need to be storing in a database. Well, first of all, we're going to have to store our blog posts. So that's easy. Blog post. Alright, and then we can just say, thank you Copilot, that was good to start with. So let's give title, string, content. I would also like to do, give me a sec, sorry about that, an author. Okay, give me a sec, sorry, I've just got to quickly duck away. I will be back in a moment. Okay, and we're back. Give me a sec, I've just been informed that I'm having some audio quality issues. So, let's try and figure this out. So apparently my microphone's a bit low and the music was a bit loud. I am going to be getting a new microphone and audio setup soon. So that should help with any issues there. So if you're watching, if you could let me know if that is any better. And that would be good. So, alright, great. Thank you, Liz. Gee, since you're around a bit, Liz, what I will do is can I make you a moderator. There we are. There we go, Liz, you are now a moderator as well for the Twitch stream. Cool, alrighty, now that I've got some audio issues kind of settled, though please let me know if the audio issues persist and we will get them sorted out ASAP. Okay. So I'm just resorting myself out a little bit. Cool, alright, where were we? So we were making this blog post. So, the blog post, title, content, we want an author, we want a date time for created. I don't really care about a modified time. So the other thing I'd like to do is have a description. There we go. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll set these all to just be nullable so that it stops complaining at us. Cool. Alright, so there we go. There's our... what was that? Apparently I have something on which allows me to highlight things. Didn't know I had that tool enabled, but there we go. I have just been playing around with Dev Home a bit and some of the new dev settings, so that might be it. Cool. Alright, so we've got that. We've got the blog post. That should, to start with, that should be it. So let's now think about how do we want to display this. So we want to display it on the home page, so let's clear the home page a bit because we want all the blog posts to just be displayed up front. And one thing also we might want here is a, well, we'll do it first in here and then I might extract it out as a component. So let's put a code region in here. Before I forget, I also need to do a couple more data related things to put in the class here. And we will put in blog post service. Okay, and we'll make this an interface. Call it iBlog post service. And that makes sense. So it's get blog posts async, get by an ID, create, update, delete. I would also like to make one which is no, we're getting all blog posts. That's alright. We'll do that for now. I was thinking of getting one which is only returning me the summaries. We'll see if that's something I need or not. Cool. Alright, so then we add in the public class here to the implementation. And then inherits from the iBlog post service. And now we actually then go and implement that interface. Okay. There we are. I was waiting for this little to come up. And we're just going to implement the interfaces. Cool. And then we also add in, we added a read only. Type, read only. No, we don't want the context. Oh no, so we do want the context. So we want the location DB context, and that. Cool, and we also should go over here and add this in as set, and this will be blog posts. So that should be good there, and we'll need to do a quick little bit of terminal. So this is one thing I prefer. Hey Will, thanks for joining. Hope you're enjoying. I think you're over in New Zealand at the moment, aren't you? Doing serverless days. Hope that has gone really well for you. So, okay, one thing that I do prefer from VS Code that isn't in Visual Studio as well is a integrated terminal. I wish I had that. But I got Windows Terminal here, so let's go from that. So we'll change over to my dev drive, which I'm now using, which is a new cool thing that I've just looked up. It's been out for a little while, but a dev drive is like a faster file system made specifically for development, and you can mount them as virtual drives, which is really cool. All part of this dev home thing. Alrighty, so here I need to do a .NET if migrations add blog post. So we're adding the blog post data type into our database, and that's complaining that my tool's out of date. That's fine, I can fix that a bit later. Do database update. So we're going to update our database to use the newest change, which there we go. And this tells us what we've done, and that's gone ahead and created a few different things. Primarily for us, we wanted it to create the table for the blog posts, which it has done here. Cool. Yeah, dev home and dev drive have been great. My dev home, the dev home pop-up doesn't work on my version at the moment. I need to. I'm due for a cleanup, so but dev drive did work, and that's been pretty cool. Cool. All right, so we have blog post there, and before I forget, go do our dependency injection. And we'll just add as a singleton blog post service, blog post service. Cool. So now when we come into here, we can actually inject blog post service, and we'll have to do a using here as well. Go. So we inject that there, so that'll give us access to that interface, which then abstracts away the access to the DB. One of the reasons we might do this kind of abstraction where we put up a service and an interface like that is if we wanted to change that later. Say we wanted to have a database which does our auth and then a second database which does our blog storage, things like that. We would separate those things out. You wouldn't normally, it's a bit of a convoluted way of doing it, but it just shows you that you can keep the interface, keep the same implementation type here, so you know what to expect when you call the interface, but the entire concrete part of the class can change, and that won't be an issue. Cool. Alright, speaking of which, we should actually go and implement this. So create blog post here, so we'll want to just do that, and we actually, because we want to return it, so we'll say var blog post is equal to await. So I'll have to make this an async, which means that should be fine, and then we should then return, I call it new blog post because we are creating a new one. Okay, now it's giving us all sorts of errors. Yeah, so I haven't done the initialization yet. So yeah, you're right, we'll just stick that in there and do that initialization. So apparently link decides it doesn't like that actually. What are we doing? Okay, decided I didn't like that one. So yeah, it should initialize, shouldn't it? It should actually just initialize. That should be fine. Oh, we'll find out in a minute and see how that goes. All right. This is not create get a waiter. Yeah, I don't know why it was throwing all sorts of. We do this and it says, "Hey, I don't like it." Cannot create an instance of an abstract type or interface. So I can only follow up with that one, but it'll tell us if it's a problem when it goes. But what is it throwing? There we go. A bit happier now that I'm actually, using the async method. And what are we doing here? And can I explicitly tie change tracking? Okay. I'm clearly having a night because this should be the simplest of. So I'm doing the add async. That's my blog post. I'm awaiting that because it's an async. That's my new variable. It should be. Why is it creating a change tracking entity entry rather than just returning me? Unless I don't want to do is just dot result there. So I have to return the entity itself. Okay. Either I've been doing something weird in Entity Framework for a bit, or yeah, not sure what's happening there. Alrighty. Yeah, I reckon this is new Entity Framework stuff. Find out in a minute. Let's just go in and we'll do the. Alright, so that's fine. This one will just be a context dot remove though. What we should do actually is find it first, and then if it's not null, remove it, rather than attempting to remove and failing to find or something like that. It's saying, what are we expected to return here? Task, so I shouldn't need to return anything. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's taking the error away, but it's giving us a warning because it says we lack an await. Yeah, my brain is certainly switching off. And we also do async here. Is there a remove async? I don't think there isn't a remove async. That's alright. Okay. And again, should go and make all of these async. They're all going to be async. I'm interacting with the database, so I'm going to be awaiting doing the async methods for all of these. That's fine. And then not capital. Now that's going to say it could be null, so I actually want to tell it that that's fine. And that's saying it doesn't match now, and that's fine, so I'm going to allow a null there, just if it fails to find. Sorry, my chat's also not keeping up. Let me bounce a window up so I can keep going. Yeah, I think that one was failing to return because I hadn't put the async in front, so it was trying to return task as if it was a normal object. So it was actually waiting for me to return the task object. But once I put async, that's fine. Okay. And this one's just to get blog posts. And I guess there is no thanks Copilot. So there is two. It's two list async. Alright. Cool. And last one, update. So yep, that'll work. And then we update, and then we call an update. Okay. And then we've told it we're going to return, so we can return the blog post. That's fine. We should return the existing blog post, which is the one that's being updated. Okay. We'll put that return inside here because we're checking for the if. Else return. Again, we'll put this as an optional null. So if we don't have anything, we're returning a null. We'll handle that previously, and that's going to complain because I don't have that. Should be an update async. Thank you. Check that line. That was called something else. Execute update async. What are you expecting? Set property calls. Actually, that's a new one. I haven't seen execute update async. What are you expecting? So you're expecting a link expression. Oh, okay. More new things. Clearly I haven't been doing enough linking stuff. I mean, clearly just doing very simple things lately. You don't really want to... Where's my other options here for update? Just straight update, execute update, execute update. We'll just do the update for the moment just to keep it simple, but and that's not awaited here. So just be aware that this is not an awaited thing. That could be, so put a note in here to add execute async, because that could be like we could get a performance issue there. So we'll hit that at the moment, but I'll have some read of what that's expecting and do a play around in a bit. I just want to get to the point where I've got this running, because I want to see if that blog post is going to be okay without needing to force that initialization. Okay, I think that's fine. Gets all our services. So in here now we should create a, so in our page put a list of blog posts. It's called private list of blog posts, and then on initialize we'll go get blog posts, and that's saying that that doesn't exist. Okay, that's what we call it. Get blog posts async. So that should return us that list. and then sure, we can. Well, now it's just hallucinating and making things up. So let's try that again. Yeah, I definitely think keeping it simple is good here, especially because I think they've updated a bunch of link stuff. But that's cool. Alright. So I just want to do a for each loop in here. For each. And it's predicted what I kind of want to do with it eventually, which is I want to make a component here called blog post card and actually have it place a UI element in there. But for now, I just wanted to do post. No, not that. Dot. Just put the title there for the moment. I don't need to do that at the moment, because at the moment we'll have nothing in there. But that's okay. Let's give it a run and see what happens. Yeah, Copilot's all like, "Hey, you're going to do all of this thing, and then you should have things here." All right. We have services may not be constructed. Can I? Okay, no. That's my bad. It is not a singleton because it is calling a scoped function with the DB context. So that needs to be scoped as well. That's fine. Okay. So there's nothing in the database at the moment, so that's fine. So what we'll do... I think I do this here, which is I think I can put in some initial data. I think let's ask Copilot because I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I can do that in here, where I can kind of pre-fill some data. Why are we doing it in a starter file? That okay, Copilot, you're definitely getting a bit confused today. I'm not coding back in .NET 5. Let's do an initial. Okay. Well, I guess I can. Do that. What am I adding in my DB context? That's identity. Here's the DB context here. Okay, Copilot, can we try that again? Okay. So using Entity Framework, and then it's add a migration. Not quite what I was after, because I don't want it to persist this data when I actually go to deploy it. I want it to be empty when I deploy. Okay, I'm going to do it in a slightly dodgy way. I'm just going to go do it in here. Just going to add it in here. So let's do blog post service, create blog post, new blog post, And it's gonna be like wait that. Cool, we'll just do it in here. That'll be fine. Mainly just testing to see if we can hit that or not. Oh, something is not happy. Let's restart that and debug. So I'm gonna have to get some data tools out in a minute. Actually have a look at what's going on. So we do that, that's fine. We do that, and we can see that blog post is 0. Okay. This does make me feel like this is not being initialized correctly. Ooh. Now, when we tried to do this before, it said, no, I don't like you. Okay. Just quickly checking. Some docs. See that? It's very weird. Okay, so do we set up blog posts? I don't think that helped me. Okay, yeah. Take the equals out. Okay. Let's see if Copilot has any help here. Let's see if you can detect any issues there. Am I missing? Let's try it. Gee. What's that one? Using a default. I don't think that's what we want. Cannot create an abstract. Oh, so cannot create a new DB set. Because DB set itself is an abstracted class. And Copilot is not what we're talking about. Yeah, okay, it's interesting. Copilot's telling me that, which is what I was doing before. Alrighty. Do I have Azure Data Studio here as well? So I want to see if the data, like again, it's using local DB. Maybe I need to shift it over to SQL. Here we go. Local host. Haven't used this one in a while. Oh no, don't delete them. I haven't updated this in a while either. don't think that's the one I want to be connecting to. What am I connecting to? So we're connecting to this. We'll take you later. And we'll do connection. I think that'll be Windows. See if that'll connect, or if that's going to be a pain. When I jumped on tonight, I didn't think dealing with Entity Framework and local DB was going to be the issue that I was going to go down the rabbit hole on, but that's okay. No, it did not. Been that long since I've used local DB. Alright, now we're going to flip that over. We're not going to use local DB there. We're going to use SQLite. So, where is my NuGet manager, package manager? Let's go get. Cool. There you go, SQLite. Install that. That's fine. Accept all those. Just double checking I am using Entity Framework Core, which it should be. And this is also telling me there's a bunch of updates. Sure, let's update everything, that's fine for the moment. Oh, it's just set, is it? So, well, let's try that before we do any major changes. Just a set blog post. Oop. Just set, because new, maybe helps. Not DP, set. And it's saying set can't be found. Why can't set be found? What is... No new, just delete the whole thing. Equals set of blog post. Cannot convert method group. Or is it because I'm doing right back? No, it doesn't like that. Change set to no. Yeah, something funky is happening there. think I might go and check. As I've done this so many times before, I'm not sure why today I'm having an issue. Let's go have a look at a previous project. That always helps me jog my memory and stuff, because I don't do it every day, day in, day out. I'm using the previous attempt at doing a blog. No, I'm not sure if I'm using it for that. So just set blog post. Build and show reference community static. Yeah, no, that's all good. Well, thanks for helping out. Cannot reference the non-static field or property. Are you expecting it to be a static field? Like it wants to do something like this. No. Dude, it really didn't like me doing that. Understandable. Cause all sorts of problems. Yeah, let me have a quick look to see. I was one that I had that was doing something. Let's try this one. Blog, I don't think this one was using a DB though. No, this one was not using a DB. I was trying to do something weird on that. I was trying to do like a static website generator with Markdown. Might return to that one later. Yeah, the other place we could check for me doing this is actually GitHub. Where's Edge? Okay. Let's go look at my repos. Do it in here. I need a search tool which tells me where. Maybe that's a new AI search tool they should do with Copilot, allowing me to type in what I'm looking for and being able to search all my repos and pull up what I'm looking for. So I'm sure I'm doing something weird, and I'm sure I've done this a ton of times. With some database. Just which project? I think that was the that was the wasn't one that doesn't help me. Yeah. Let's run it back in DB. Yeah, there's some SQL in it. That is a start. I got some migrations. There's a context. Yeah, okay, now that has been the way I've done it, so yeah. But so definitely the way I've done it is that just the group git set Now the question is, why didn't it work when I ran it initially? Because we do a create here, continue, and it pops up nothing. But I'm going to change this to SQLite because I think I can see SQLite. Okay, Power Toys, I know you've got lots of updates. There's lots of cool stuff from build today from the Power Toys session, which looks really cool, that I'm going to have to play with at a later date. Especially with my new job, I should be getting a Windows-based machine, which means I can use all the cool little tools rather than being stuck on the Mac. So, alright, so let's switch this over to use, so instead of use SQL Server here, we do use SQLite, and then the connection string for SQLite, it's not that, default connection. I think it's just server equals no. I'm having all sorts of trouble typing and everything tonight. And I think that's it. Let's see if it breaks everything. Okay, just gonna go check. Did that create? How? No. Yep, that did an unexpected call. Cool. Actually, that am I using SQLite in this one? Just to make sure I'm doing. What's this one doing? It's adding a DB context. No, that one's using SQL Server. No, that's right. Ooh. Do the connection thing for SQLite. There it is. It's not doing server. It is doing data source equals the DB. Now, where is that putting it? So putting it in here when it's running. Or am I still just doing something terribly wrong tonight? Alright, I'm clearly doing something funny tonight. Let's just call it that. Alright. Start it off DB. Okay. Oh dear. Okay. That maybe helps. Let's see if it's case sensitive. have another internal error, and I'm guessing that's going to hit internal error again. Okay, clearly I have to do more than just replace. So SQLite here. You know what mostly I have to do? Is actually call the database update. And it was created to be context. You need to call set provider. Alright. Now, Copilot. This is effectively what I've done, yet it doesn't want to work. Okay. Really having to struggle with this one tonight, aren't I? Okay. I'm going to do the Ask Google rather than Ask Copilot, or Ask Bing in this case. See if we can find, that's from 2021. Because I could be using the wrong package. That could be it. So let's go have a look. I think this is also what I get for switching from something I'm used to, which is VS Code, to full weight Visual Studio. Just taking myself out of the loop a bit. So I'm doing all sorts of silly things. Okay, so let's uninstall that one because I think that is the wrong package. Okay. No, Microsoft, we want Entity Framework Core dot SQLite. This one. Don't want that one. We want this one. Okay. I think that should resolve that issue. Okay. All right. So let's go back here, just make sure we're still building, which we are, that's fine. Let's rerun. Gotta go check. Still not seeing any database pop up. Usually it would be there, but that's right. And if we jump over this one, we're not getting an error. Hit that, and then I've got operation failed. Okay, and we know why those failed, because we didn't run database update. So now it doesn't like SQL error near max. Okay, let's go look at those migrations. Does SQL not have varchar max? No, should have. Okay, no, it does not have it. It instead used text. So, okay. So, not going to be super efficient. We're just going to call these fields text fields. Gonna simplify things. Most of these are varchar maxes anyway. A lot of this is doing the ASP, like the security stuff locally, which we're not really going to use. Mainly because we don't want to roll our own. I'm sure we're going to hit a bunch of issues with the different data types because we've shifted from SQL Server to SQLite. But let's just find out. And yes, I could do a search and replace for them all, but I'm doing it slowly just to be reading over what else I'm doing here. It also gives me an idea of what kind of, how many tables we're generating, what we're generating into them. So I've got the ASP user roles here, which the user roles still might be useful. Okay. Copilot was trying to be helpful there. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, let's press. Actually, that's the first time I've seen Copilot do a highlighted text replace. I don't know if I've seen that function that way before. Okay. Alright, well, let's save those. Let's now see. Not that one. This one. Any other data types we don't like? Nope, that seemed to be okay. Everything else it seemed to like. Let's try again. Okay. Well, I don't see any data. Oh, wait. Am I about to kick myself again? Am I missing? I think I am. this works now, I'm going to kick myself. uh, not null. Constraint failed. I shifted something. Maybe I've shifted something. So let's do. See if I need to do a migration here. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Oh dear. Oh. Well, that's alright. We've got a few things tonight, including how to troubleshoot things when things go terribly wrong. But it's an important skill to have. It's important to know that things won't always go right, and sometimes you can be running down the wrong way and you just need to stop, think, have another shot at things, iterate on your failures, because the most important thing at the end of the day is you got it to work. I mean, yeah, you want to do it faster and you want to learn how to do it quickly, and you don't want to spend an hour on some basic entity framework and forgetting to do save changes, but it happens to all of us. So that's all good. Cool. Alright, so we now have that works. Now, I think the other thing now, if I rerun this now, I think I'll have at least, yeah, that'll stay in the database. So that's fine. Cool. Alrighty, so got about 15 minutes left for tonight. What I might do is I might jump onto the book of news for build. So Microsoft Build Book of News. This is a cool website if anyone hasn't seen it. 2024 version, maybe, not the 2023. Where's the website gone? If I have to use Google to get the correct. That. Okay, anyway. But let's have a look at this. So Book of News is a really cool website. I will link it in my chat to tell you what has happened at Microsoft Build. So I'll just bump this into the chat. Also, hey Emma Smith, I'm sorry if you said hi earlier and I didn't respond. My Twitch, okay, I've got to fix. I'm gonna have to build something which updates me on the chats because I missed that. Hopefully you're still around. Hopefully that wasn't too long ago, but unfortunately I don't know. Note self, build a monitor for chats that shows me timestamps as well. Okay, so Book of News is all the news that's coming out of Build at the moment. So, where the stuff that I'm interested in, so obviously there's a lot of cool stuff to do with AI. AI is everywhere. I mean, the AI services section is huge. For me, what I was interested in is updates to AI search. So being able to quickly build so the RAG systems, so Retrieval Augmented Generation Systems, is what that stands for. So having that search part be more kind of functional, faster, do more things, means you have to spend less time thinking about that and more time implementing your service. So that's pretty cool. So our studio is now generally available too, which again, maybe next week we might have a look at it. I don't have access at the moment to really play around with it on my own subscription. So, but I will be hopefully getting an MSDN subscription back next week, hopefully. What else are you looking at? I mean, you got GPT-4o is going to be available inside the Azure AI, which is always good because that model's been really good so far. Phi 3 Vision, I want to play with this. I'm a huge fan of Phi 3. I think there's a lot of cool stuff we can be doing with it, especially I want to try the mini and medium models and see how they go. I'm running Phi 3 at the moment on my secondary server. Cool. So some Fabric stuff. Fabric's not really my thing. I mean, I'll be aware of it. I'll just look at it, but it's not really my wheelhouse. So I'll keep scrolling down. So Azure Infrastructure, Azure Compute Fleet. Yet, a lot of the work that I do isn't really based on VMs. I don't do a lot of VM work. I tend to do a lot of cloud native work, Azure Container Apps, containerization, Docker, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, don't do a whole heap there. So I'm just bouncing around making sure chats are updating. So I'm just arranging some windows. I'm really conscious that I did miss out on responding to someone, and that's not great. I don't like that, so I'm going to try and move some things around so I can see all of my chats a little bit easier. Ooh. And why does that one disappear on me? Sorry, my Twitch chat has disappeared. There we go. Alright, I should be able to see things a bit clearer now. Cool. So Azure Compute Fleet, not my thing. Azure Migrate, container storage, yeah, it's fine. Sorry. Cobol, I mean, it's good, again, good for VMs. Maybe some of the compute behind the scenes will see some savings. That would be cool. So these are ARM-based VM or CPUs. These series machines, which are essentially GPUs, or not GPUs, they're AI chips. So they're for running open source AI models on them, but these will be super expensive. So they're not going to be something that the everyday user is going to use. And even for development, it's hard to justify the cost. Interesting to see where this goes, and I think it's a space right now to look at is how do we do development with AI systems when we're not building the AI systems up, but we're leveraging them. How do we get dev environments that aren't going to break the bank? Okay, developer community. So Startup Founders Hub, which gives them access to a whole heap of AI stuff, which is cool. New applied skill credentials. I will most likely have a look at this one. This one's definitely within my wheelhouse. May have a look at this one too. Load testing, not so much, but I'll be aware of it. .NET Aspire, currently been looking at that. Really interested with where this is going. I think it's got a really solid foundation. I'm going to dive a bit more into the extensibility soon. I'm really interested in how building extensions for it works, so you can build your own services, and how we can run stuff locally, but then have it flip over to cloud native services when running in the cloud. So, local environment, use local services. Cloud environment, use the cloud services. That should be interesting. We'll definitely have a look at .NET 9. See some apologies. See some changes there and see what's happening. Cool MongoDB provider for EF Core. Yeah, we'll have a look. I've done some MongoDB in the past and I've been bitten by it. So maybe it's time to have a look at it again. But yeah, kind of this NoSQL databases, not biggest fan of. AI Toolkit for Visual Studio Code, we will definitely be looking at this. I said VS Code's something I really enjoy using, so it'll be interesting to see what the AI Toolkit's doing there. API Center, again, I'll have a look at this. I've done quite a bit of work with API management, so it'll be interesting to see how API Center kind of merges some of that, makes it easier to manage because it can be difficult. Azure App Service, so they're doing sidecar patterns, web jobs, using GitHub Copilot skills for Azure Migrate. That'll be interesting to see. App Service is fine if you're doing small things, but I think most people aren't doing just the one small thing with an app service. And I think Azure Container Apps is a better solution. So Azure Container Apps now allows dynamic sessions. I'm gonna have a look at that and try and understand what that's meant to do. Not completely across what that's doing just yet. I might have to watch some of the announcement, see what they say it's for. I mean, apart from they say it's for AI. We'll see. And the Aspire dashboard being available, really cool. Really like that dashboard. Azure Functions, Flex Consumption Plan. Functions, again, I'm not a huge fan of functions. I've seen them used poorly, and it really strains the systems when they're used badly. And it can lead to all sorts of problems, but worth having a look at, being aware of. And you can run Azure Functions now on Container Apps and use the Adapter extension, so could be useful for doing service discovery, things like that. AKS Automatic. Be interested to see how this goes. And what space it plays in versus kind of currently Azure Container Apps versus Azure Kubernetes Service, and where that lives. So, I think something is telling me that it's time to wrap up for tonight. But quickly before that, Azure Service Bus. I think I saw something in here that they were talking about a way of running this locally, like as an emulator or something, so you could do some development on it locally. No, it's not listed in here, but that's something I've seen mentioned that we'll definitely look at for. Microsoft DevBox, this will definitely be something that you'll hear more of from me. Definitely something I'm really passionate about in the space of how do we get devs working faster, sooner. I'm mostly going to do some YouTube videos on this, so definitely watch out for those. I'll do a full rundown. What is DevBox? How do we use it? How do we set it up? What are the advantages of using it? So, development environments are tied to that as well. So we'll look at that when we do DevBox. GitHub Copilot extensions, definitely be looking at that. So in the demo they showed one which was really funny. They had coded an extension for Copilot or GitHub Copilot that talks back to you as if it was a pirate. So obviously amusing, but it can see the power of being able to like interact with the Copilot agent through an extension like that. Oh yeah. So Azure Event Grid, and then load testing. Spring Apps, not something I've done too much with. Logic Apps, again, not really my thing. So this is the version of Visual Studio we've been playing with today, where it has the integrated GitHub Copilot. Not sure, like, it was cool. I saw that little tab feature. That looked cool. We'll have to go through it a bit more and see what it's doing. Education, Microsoft Copilot, yeah, we'll see. And I think I'll leave it there for tonight, because now we're going into like 365 stuff, which I know there's Windows stuff below, but we'll touch that at another time. Cool. Alrighty, well, I think I'll leave it there for tonight. Bit of a shorter stream, but yeah, this week's been pretty long, and as I said, I'm currently wrapping up my current job and starting with a new group on Monday. But if you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll see all the posts about that tomorrow, and then Monday I'll post from where I'm starting up. But I hope everyone has a great weekend when you get there. And Will, if you're still on, good luck for the serverless days in New Zealand. It should be a blast. And I think we've got a colleague, Will Valita, who is speaking there as well. So there's William and Will, both speaking, both great guys. If you get a chance, check them out. It'd be great. So yeah, so I hope everyone has a good Friday, good weekend, and I will catch you all on next Tuesday. I think will be when we go live again. But apart from that, always happy to take questions, leave comments on any of the videos, leave comments on the streams, or reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn. It's totally fun as well. Alright, I'll catch you all later on.